Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide. That's and all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
You know I need volume on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show is back in the building with another riveting topic. Listen, last week's topic was so crazy. It was so revolutionary, so bananas. We had to do it again. But you know what we do here on the So What Morning Show. It's about community empowerment. It's Cash Mob Monday. What does that mean? You got to support black businesses. We have to recycle black dollars. Come on, man. That's the only way we're going to get better as a community. We got to swap the dollars. So you know what I like to do? I like to promote and support local businesses so we can cash mob them. Get your money together and mob on a black company. And bye. That's what I want you to do. So let's start with the big homie, my uncle, one of the few people in the world who can keep me in check. He steps to me and be like, hey, God damn it, Zoe. Uncle Bobby in the building. Bobby, what do we have to sell right now other than or including this book, Real Men Don't Play?
The book sells itself if you're interested in the journey of men that have left indelible footprints. You can get a copy of Real Men Don't Play via my website, www.realmendon'tplay.com, Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Nobles. And on May the 9th, a select group of people are going to assemble at the Clive Davis Grammy Museum for an evening with real men who don't play. And Jerry West will be in the house, Jim Brown, Keith David,
yes,
Sam Watson, and Julian Mendoza.
Awesome.
It's going to be an exciting event, and it'll be on May the 9th.
So really quickly, Chris, this is why you guys should go get this Kangen water machine. Play the video where it took all of my soul to beat Bobby.
That's not why he won.
Bobby was going...
He won because I missed a couple of jumpers.
No, I won because I beat you, Bobby.
No.
Jesus.
No, we're going to have to do this
Bobby's
again.
Disrespectful right now.
No,
I'm trying to raise Bobby up.
We have to do this again.
You still lost, Bobby. Play the video.
Help the bear.
I know this is goofy as hell, but this is 51-50 ball. No, we ain't shooting for it, Bobby. Get on over here with your swimsuit on. All right. Bam. There you go, Bobby. It's all 51-50. Look, whoops. Look at Bobby. Representing the Dr. J era. Woo, Bobby's there.
Look, and he got back.
So play it up. But Bobby recovered. Bobby got up. Zo is up. The game go to 7. The game go to 7. Let's go.
Y'all gonna show just here.
It was up 1-0.
That's right. This is my show.
Do not sleep
Bring us
on
out,
Bobby.
ladies and gentlemen.
Bobby is ready.
Bring us back before I start looking bad. Bring us back before I start looking bad against Bobby. Bring us back. I don't want to look bad against Bobby.
Yeah, that was
Bobby.
big. Yeah.
Bobby has been bringing this water to my house for the past 2 years. My son has been drinking it. My daughter's been drinking it. His mama been drinking it. Everybody's been drinking it. What is this water and why is it important for people to get it?
Well, what it is, it's a way for the body to heal itself. The water just has the properties that will allow the body at the cellular level to remove the things that make people sick that they call diabetes and cancer and all of these other things, which is just a manifestation of what you put in your body, but never left the body in the proper time, in the proper form. I've been drinking the water for 8 years. I was introduced to it by a brother who is a natural kind of guy. He doesn't eat processed foods. For those people who don't want to get into that level of it, then you must drink a water that breaks down the things that you put into your body and release it in such a way that your body can heal itself.
Is it alkaline?
That's just one of the properties. The alkalinity is just one of the properties. ORP is just as important, which is an anti-aging property. And then you're also dealing with the fact that the machine produces 5 different types of water, so it's much more than that. In Japan, it's a medical device. And so if you want more information about Kangen water, you can just get at me via Twitter at Glanton-Smith, or my email address, which is bobby@realmendon'tplay.
All right, it's very important that you guys cash mob Bobby today. Go cash mob Bobby today. It's not like what he's saying isn't beneficial. Now, Bobby?
No, this is important.
Okay.
Very important. It's not so much about cash mobbing, and that's why a lot of times that doesn't work. People got to know what's in it for them. If you're concerned about your health and the health of people that you care about, check out the information. And then cash mob yourself.
Cash mob Bobby, like I said. Now, stop being goddamn ornery, big Uncle Bobby. See, this is what uncles do. Now, goddamn it, don't do what I told you. Do what I said. Okay? Cash mob Bobby, like I said. Now, on with the health theme. Very important. We have a doctor in the building that has an incredible product that was brought to my attention by some very credible folk. Now, the sister is in here who brought this brother to my attention. Her name is Kateria. Now, I've been telling y'all for a long time that my homeboy Omar Buckley, the fashion designer Ramo Mart, right, has some high-end. This girl is wearing one of his dresses that he designed, and she has the Ankh bag. Can we see the Ankh bag real quick for all of my female listeners? Jesus. The gold Ankh bag. The dude is incredible. She's wearing the silk queen. I don't want to ask her to get up, but Jesus, it's beautiful. I'm just saying, it's incredible. I like to support black businesses, and this is one of them. Tell me about this doctor and what he has to offer. Set him up. We got time. Go.
Thank you so much. Well, I really want Dr. Carlos Orozco to tell you all why he is here and the incredible things that he is doing with quantum physics, quantum mechanics.
Okay, thank you very much, Kara, and thank you very much for having me here, and everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
I just would like to share something very exciting right now. We are moving into the age of self-healing, as you said. And self-healing meaning the body has its own ability, inbuilt, to heal itself, if given the opportunity to do so. All this happens not just because a bunch of biochemical reactions take place within the body. This happens because of vibration. My background is in medicine. I train as a medical practitioner, and I also train as a biologist and as a biophysicist. So with all that knowledge behind me, I've been able to join a venture that is absolutely amazing. We just launched, for the very first time in the eyes of the world, a little card that we call the Smart Card, otherwise known as the Mogul Card. And that card is able to transfer energy across any biological system, and even if it is not biological, anything that is made of matter. Matter is everything that is everywhere, and it transfers energy. And we know that energy simply is. We cannot really give it a definition based on just the mechanical aspects of it, as it's been normally known in biophysical and physical textbooks. Energy in those textbooks is defined as the capacity to do some work, and work is normally associated to a force that we apply to an object in order to move it a certain distance. However, the energy that we're looking at right now is cosmic energy. This is known as zero-point energy, scalar energy, the energy of the vacuum, the energy that links everything with everything else, the energy that allows the cosmos to work as a unit in harmony. This is possible thanks to a vibration that the planet itself has got, and that is known as the Schumann frequency, which is 7.28 hertz.
Are you telling me that you've devised a device, a card, that can heal people?
It can heal people? No. The body is able to heal itself when given the opportunity to do so.
So this is a conduit?
All the cards is doing, it's a conduit, as you said. It's a tool by which we can actually harness this energy that is called cosmic energy, zero-point energy, scalar energy, the energy of the vacuum, spinning energy, and that is able to be transferred across. Let me just do a quick demonstration so that you can actually see this right here.
I like that. Demonstrations, let's go.
With people.
Let's do it.
I want one of these wonderful gentlemen to do something
I'm
here
sick.
for
Do
the
me.
camera. Okay, he said, I want you to put your hands really tight. Make a tight knot.
Okay.
And really, really make it tight. Only this.
Just that one? Okay.
I'm going to use my finger here, and as far as you go like that. I'm going to use even my little finger to do that.
Jesus, you're trying to hurt me.
I don't want to hurt you. Now, I'm going to ask you to put this card next to you.
Next to me?
Yeah. Or put it next to you, just simply hold it.
Hold it.
Now, I'm going to apply the same amount of force. And now,
Oh, shit. Don't you play with me, goddammit.
I'm playing with you.
Look at that!
I'm going to do it again, so that you can actually see that I'm not pulling out. Okay?
Wait, do it again. That's a trick. Do it again.
No, I want you to do it with me, so that you know that I'm not...
Wait, do it again.
Okay? Now, cut the card. Allow me to do that.
Wow.
And this is amazing. I'm putting my...
Where the cameras at, man? I want them to see this.
And this energy is able to travel throughout your body and heal whatever needs to be healed.
Okay, so you got to tell us right now, how do the millions of people that are watching this show right now connect to you directly?
We can do it through our website that on Gmail that is called.
Right now, we are going to contact me at kateria.no@gmail.com, and I will have more.
How do you spell Kateria?
Kateria is spelled Kateria KNOW@gmail.com.
Kateria.no@gmail.com. Wow, that shit worked.
I'm going to do something else for you, so I can transfer this energy to one of these beautiful bottles that you got there. Okay, please.
Well, I'm drinking this one, so get the transfer going.
We got a bottle here. All I need to do is ask you to hold it in your hand and do the same thing.
That's crazy.
Now, I want you to give me the bottle. I simply use a Tesla coil, put it on top and at the bottom. And just by doing that, I can transfer the energy across. No card anymore.
Okay.
Just have an energized bottle. So now what I'm going to...
That's that bullshit right there. This is real, man!
What I'm going to ask you...
You want to do it too, Geoff? Geoff want to do it too! That's crazy.
Yes.
Okay, but look, we only got a minute left before we go to break.
Okay, that's wonderful. Just simply take all the energy away from your hand. Don't really push it. Just simply put your fingers together like that.
Right.
And keep them together.
Both?
Only one. Just keep them together, okay? Just keep them together. And then like that. Grab the ball. Put it on the hand. Keep, no force. Keep your fingers together.
Oh no, that's nuts. That's okay. I've seen enough. I'm done.
Okay. This is...
What's the email again? Right now.
Kateria.no@gmail.com. KATERIA.KNOW@gmail.com.
And ladies, if you want to get this Ankh bag and this beautiful Ankh dress, info@ramomart.com. That's how you... While you bull, I'm telling you, this is crazy right now. Listen, I didn't get a chance to promote all the stuff that I wanted to promote. Listen, we only got 25 days left on the Zowat Morning Show Relationship Dismount Book Tour. I need your help. We're only at 8%. We need help getting that out. We Juice, you already know you're going to get a discount if you're a Zowat listener. Just listen, Dr. Mark Goulston. You got to go to CD Baby and get my CDs, the God Class Volume 1. What do you know about you? The Black Trivia Game. Y'all got to do it for African Americans. Ow! Hey, it's about recycling black dollars. I got to go. I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Topics, guests. We'll be back at 2.2. Deuces!
There's still niggers in American Army uniforms kissing.
It was said without thinking, painting an entire race with a single word. But it wasn't always a slur. Originally, the Latin Niger just meant black.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, nigga.
But at the dawn of America, Niger became Negar to describe some of the first shipments of African slaves.
What's your name?
Kunta Kinte. My name is Toby.
Aye. That's a good nigger.
And with slavery, the word was contorted into its current, dark, degrading, hateful insult for African Americans.
We are the Ku Klux Klan. We hate niggers. Look out, nigger. The Klan is getting bigger.
Over time, it has appeared in everything from ugly propaganda to cartoons to nursery rhymes. Eeny Meeny didn't always end with catch a tiger by the toe. It was tossed about casually in movies well into the 20th century, part of the way of life, but also sometimes to raise consciousness.
You nigger lover.
And in the civil rights era, the stigma came to a head. Author James Baldwin, in the 1963 documentary Take This Hammer.
We have invented the nigger. I didn't invent him. White people invented him.
In the 1970s emerged a new willingness to explore the impact of the word and even satirize it.
And isn't it a lovely morning?
Up yours, nigger.
If you two ever really started going at one another, inside of 5 minutes, he'd be calling you... Don't say it. Nigger. He said it.
It hardly disappeared in the 1980s and 90s, though white people rarely said the word publicly. Some black people did. A lot.
It's black people, and there's niggers. The niggers have got to go. Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called Niggas with Attitudes. Cause I never hesitate to put a nigga on his back.
As a society, we've tried to ignore it, ban it, literally bury it.
The NAACP held this symbolic funeral for the N-word.
And we've perhaps added more gravity to the word just by refusing to say it.
Whenever a white lady on CNN with nice hair says the N-word, that's just white people getting away with saying nigger. That's all that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So What Morning Show. TradioV, that's Radio and TV, every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 2 to 4 on the East Coast. I want to hear from you guys today, too. We had to cover this topic again because a lot of people really loved last week's show, but they didn't. I noticed there was still a lot of confusion. Again, who controls the narrative? You see at the beginning of that video? The very beginning of the video talked about the origin of the word starting in Spain, Spanish. The Spanish origin of the word. Again, in America, you write a book, you're considered an expert. Whoever writes a book is then called an author, right? Authors are also authorities. He's an authority on this subject because he's an author, right? Remember the quote from Napoleon last week? History is a collection of lies agreed upon. So they become the author of your narrative. So even at the beginning of that CNN piece, they started with a particular narrative. Well, the Spanish created the term nigger. No, you did not. So we want to go back and say, because there was a lot of brothers who watched the show and felt enlightened, but then there was a lot of people saying, I don't give a fuck what you say, that word is terrible. But I keep saying it's only terrible within the historical context of which you're looking at it from. If the word goes back to Africa, if Africans say that word means something, and then Europeans say it means something else, I'm going to go with what Africa said it meant.
Start the source.
So if Africa say it mean God, but the civil rights and slavery says,
oh my Lord.
You see what I'm saying? It's a word to be reviled. I done told you to hustle. What is the hustle? Let's rewrite and reverse engineer what shit meant. We're going to reverse engineer your symbols and make them evil to you. Nigger is the worst word ever. Is it? We had to revisit it. I've got a whole crew of people on. The august panel of the So What Morning Show. Geoff Brown in the building.
What's going on?
Ready to be an irritant.
I don't believe shit no more.
Exactly.
I'm a scared. Who the hell was this dude pulling on your damn finger? My Uncle James used to do
Remember that pull my finger, you fart?
Yeah. Don't touch my fingers, boy.
We've got O.G. Bobby Glanton-Smith, author and thus expert of Real Men Don't Bullshit, Real Men Don't Play, man.
Got to give a shout out on his 101st birthday to the black godfather of L.A. business, Mr. Leon Theodore Gar. He's 101 years old today, and still ain't a knock in the motor.
Wow. We love it. We love it. Bobby, one more time. For them to get that Kangen water, brother, what's the email address?
Come at me at bobby@realmendon'tplay.com or get at me on my Twitter account at Glanton-Smith.
Perfect. And then my homeboy is in the building. Last time he called in, he was on the phone. This is my homeboy Kev that was dropping hella science on the phone call a couple weeks back when we did the show, Who Were You Before They Called You Christian?
Oh, yeah.
And he came in and dropped some hot monkey lava on the phone. But I had to force him to show up in person. This is one of them behind the scenes. I told you this dude got a library. Listen, motherfuckers be asking me, where you get them words? Y'all don't understand. This motherfucker got all them books at his house.
So y'all a couple convicts then.
So this is what
he reads like an inmate. I don't know nobody read more books than Zoe.
Right, this is what I'll do. I'll text this. What is the original definition of the word queen? And they'll text it right back to me. Yeah, that means hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll say, well, where did that come from? He'll tell you where does it come from? The etymological dictionary that you use? What is that one?
Oxford Etymology Dictionary. English language.
Boom. So he wanted him reference. He's like a fucking database.
You can't figure out how that much fits in a human head.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I got friends like that.
If I forget some shit, Kev, what the fuck does whoop whoop?
Yeah.
Now, what it said was, Kevin is that dude.
Well, that's who you are for me. So give me his number. So
he's I'm just saying, he's like the historical Batman. He got all the information. I'm telling you.
Bruce Wayne with it.
He's that dude, right? Okay. So he's coming in to build on this topic because there's so many nuances and layers that we're going to get to, right? Then on the line, we've got Veronica Conway. Anybody who's hip to Veronica Conway, you got to go to blackmastery.com. Still get that NLP. That NLP program that undoes Willie Lynch that she created, that's narrated by Iyanla Vanzant. And also, half of the Mooney twins, son of Paul Mooney, Daryl Mooney is on the line.
What?
Come on, man.
That's my dude, Mooney.
You guys are disrespectful. My engineer guys are just...
Oh, my God.
I'm throwing it on you.
Oh, my God.
You can't trust a nigga with his hat on backwards.
Oh, my God. His hat's not exactly on backwards.
His shit is sideways. God damn.
What the hell you people doing? Just monkeys throwing shit in there, huh?
Okay, so do we have Veronica, or do you have Veronica's number? Then you call Veronica right now.
What the hell wrong with you, Veronica?
No.
You know what time the damn show started, woman?
Call her right now. Call her. Okay, good. So we're good. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Let's deal with this term really quickly. In order for black people to move forward, should we call ourselves black? Should we go on some type of exhaustive, educational, historical pursuit to find out who the fuck we really were? And then even more important as a subtopic to today's show, what the fuck is a Hotep nigga? Right? It seems like in our community, any idea accentuates the fucking disparity that we have amongst each other. So whatever the beef is amongst each other, any idea seems to accentuate the differences, right? So I've done a little research on the Hotep nigga. It's supposed to be like this. You remember that skit with In Living Color. Damon Wayans in jail.
If one were to propostulate.
Oswald Bates.
Yes,
Yeah,
Oswald Bates,
oh,
right?
yeah.
Right? Again, in every fucking community, in every walk of life, you have people of high integrity and those of low integrity. But it seems like only in our community, we put a campaign together to go against certain motherfuckers, right? There's bad Jews. There's bad Muslims. There's bad Christians. I mean, Christianity, them motherfuckers make $420 billion since 1980.
And don't produce shit but hope.
$420 billion of tithes? The fuck? There's bad people everywhere. There's pariahs everywhere. And if you dumb enough to get duped by a conscious nigga speaking in circles, circumlocution, then that's your fault. That ain't, look out for the Hotep nigga. The Hotep nigga is on the loose. We always turn something in our community into a villain. Can we talk about this? What the fuck is going on with us?
Well,
you ain't got nothing. Goddamn, Geoff didn't have nothing to say. Bobby, no, fuck that. Bobby, this nigga didn't have nothing to say.
No,
that was a rare moment. Bobby, you better capitalize on this shit.
I think it's important that we simplify this whole process of who we are and what we are and what we're not. At the end of the day, we all born to die. So we have to find some kind of commonality that keeps us from becoming so compartmentalized, whether it's the Alphas versus the Kappas, the Presbyterians versus the Methodists. We get broken into all these little old parts when we're all dealing with one real issue, and that is if we are identified by the color of our skin and the configuration of our features, then that ought to unify us more so than divide us into all these categories, because we really don't have time to sort all of that out. Not with what's going on because of how we look to the world, because it's how we look and how we sound that we have to deal with every day.
Wow.
Trying to paint the front of your house while the back of it's on fire.
Listen, we got to take a quick break. I love it. I love it when Geoff just keeps it short and sweet and just punch you right in the jejunum. Fucking snipers. I love it. Listen, who created and controls the N-word? Who has the right to use it and who doesn't? The N-word double standard. We talking about nigga. Man, we got to take it back. We got to take it back. When I come back, Veronica Conway, Daryl Mooney joins the panel, as well as my homeboy Kevin. We're going to get active today. If you got questions, call me at 855-878-4652. So what mornings? It's what we do.
Get him to stand up a little better. Tariq ibn Ziyad means Tariq, the son of Ziyad. Tariq was, I believe, a Moroccan. This is Morocco over here. In other words, he was a Moor, a man from Morocco. This whole North African empire, Islamic empire, came to be called the Moors, or in Shakespeare, the Blackamoors. Sounds like we had some black people there, huh? Tariq took the armies of Islam across the Straits of Gibraltar and landed on the Rock in the year 710 AD. You'll never guess what he did next. He burned the boats. He'd made up his mind that if his armies of Islam could not conquer Spain, they weren't going home. So he burned the damn boats, and that left them facing one way, which was straight forward. And in the year 710, they swept across the Iberian Peninsula, and they took the land that we now call Spain for Islam. For just about 800 years, until precisely the year 1492, the year Columbus sailed for America. For almost 800 years, Spain was a Muslim country. The army stopped at the Pyrenees Mountains because they couldn't beat the French. In honor of his conquest, they called what is now called the Rock of Gibraltar Jabal al-Tariq, which means the Mountain of Tariq. And the British, in their inimitable way, turned Jabal al-Tariq into Gibraltar. We now had an African Muslim empire which stretched from the Pyrenees Mountains, encompassing all of Spain, Morocco, and the whole north coast of Africa, right up to Egypt, and the area south into the Sahara Desert, as far as any man cared to stake a claim. This northern African empire, which was eventually headquartered in Spain, went under three names, and here they are. All the same empire, really, but three different names. From 710, the year that the Muslims moved into Spain, up until about the time of the Crusades, this was called the Umayyad Empire. And it wasn't just North Africa, because at that time, up until the Crusades, Islam had a world government. It was one empire, ruled from Damascus, and it was called the Umayyad Empire. But around the time of the Crusades, the Umayyad Empire fell apart into smaller empires. And the empire encompassing Spain and North Africa at that point was called the Almoravid Empire, later the Almohad Empire. These names, Almoravid and Almohad, come from names of tribes, but it was all basically the same region. This area, from Spain, North Africa, all the way to Egypt, and well into the Sahara Desert, an area just about the size of Western Europe. Now, around the time of the Crusades, Islam made its way across the Sahara Desert.
Why is this important? Somebody on Twitter just said right now, INC, right? At INC. He says, we gain a false sense of revolution by focusing on what we used to be instead of focusing on what we are now and what we need to do. First off, know who the fuck you was.
Yes.
That's important. I fucking detest when people, and no disrespect to the brother, he deserves his opinion, but I detest when people say that, because if you were a king, then you knew how to rule. And now, if all you know how to do is assimilate and acquiesce, you got to remember how to rule.
You don't miss what you don't remember.
Do you see what I'm saying? So when you say focus on who we are today, well, you're subservient today. You're a subject, and you're a slave, a debt slave. You're a cultural slave. You're an economic slave. So we should focus on who we are today. Why?
You don't know what to get back to if you don't.
Do you understand? Freedom comes with sovereignty.
Yes.
Sovereignty makes you buck oppression. Just inwardly, like, well, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
My son was.
Right, just a simple act of, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Is sovereignty.
Do not alert him to my presence.
I will deal with my son Akeem. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to the brother, but it's... Do you follow what I'm saying? Veronica Conway, Daryl Mooney, all our people is on right now. Welcome to the show. I'm going to come to you guys in 30 seconds, but I want to throw it to my in-studio guest, my homeboy Kevin Barringer, the fucking living library. Why shouldn't we call ourselves black? Why shouldn't we be African Americans today?
Well, legally.
Speak into the mic, brother.
You understand? Legally, these terms place you in a subservient place to where you can never gain your actual status back. So the term black, which is a term I hate. First of all, most people, or so-called black people, call themselves black, but you're not the color black. If you look at most people, you look at your skin, it's brown. You got on black right now. Your skin is not that color. So the term black etymologically means, or it's the same as the word blank, or it comes from the word bleak, which means white or bleach.
So black and white mean the same thing.
Exactly. Like in Spanish, the word for white is blanco.
Right. Casablanca.
Right.
White House.
White House.
Which is the capital of Morocco. Say more.
So, legally as well, black is a color. And so in the law, so there's two types of language. They call it the King's English and the Queen's English. And the Queen's English is what we speak colloquially every day. This everyday language. The King's English is law or legal language. And that's what really rules. So whatever we saying out here in the streets doesn't really matter. When you go to court, you're classified as something different. So when you call yourself black, the term black, even white or African American or any of these terms that they put together, Indian, they're called colorable terms. So the word black is a color. When you look up color in the dictionary, and you have to go in the law dictionary, and you want to go to Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. So the term black, it doesn't say black in there, but the word color means the appearance or semblance of, as distinguished from that which is real.
So wait a minute. Is this what the color of law means?
Absolutely.
Oh, shit.
Well, see, color of law, it falls into a whole lot of other things. But just the term, it has colorable law, all different types of things. But these terms, African American, Indian, all these things that they've given us to call ourselves, these are called colorable terms. They're not real. And they gave you that so that, because back in the day when everybody was calling themselves Negro and all this and that, this was in the dictionary, this was in the law dictionary as things that they knew people wouldn't read. See, this Black's Law Dictionary came out in the late 40s, early 50s, where black people still weren't reading at that time that much. Or it's definitely not law or legal dictionaries like that. So, they had the term Negro at that time. You look up the term Negro, and it says a black man. So, which still puts you back into color.
Right.
Which still puts you back into not being real.
So this narrative is a narrative of servitude via the color of law.
Absolutely.
Okay, give me a good term to call myself then.
You can pick that for yourself. You should figure that out for yourself. I don't need a title. I don't necessarily have a title. But when you call yourself, all right, I'm a black man. As soon as you say that, you're calling yourself not real. So like when people go to court, black people go to court, so-called black people go to court, and they're getting told off by the judge, and he's going off on them, this and that. The reason he can do that is because of what you've termed yourself as when you fill out these documents. If you sign,
so you're already under jurisdiction.
You're already under jurisdiction.
Wow! Just by what you call yourself.
By what you call yourself. You call yourself black. Fuck. You're telling the judge immediately that I'm not real. I'm not really here. So he's just playing. He's just playing out the script. Wow! You don't know that you're calling yourself that. So and you wondering why the judge is going off on you. And this is why. Even white people, but now they're much more. They have much more positive laws for that colorable term than we do.
For that colorable term. Wait, hold on. This is getting crazy. You got a question? Then I want to go to Veronica before we go to break. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, if the judge takes liberties with me calling myself black, then I think the
takes liberties.
Well, no, if the judge, he says the reason the judge is talking to you this way.
A certain way.
Yeah. Okay. I think the question everybody wants to hear today is, what can I call myself to back that fucking judge up?
A Moor.
Shit, a Moor. Got it.
Well, see, they setting that shit up, though. They studying this shit. Yeah. Tell them, Kev, them motherfuckers is off studying this shit. This is why the white version of this is the Patriot movement.
Right.
And they studying this shit right now to shut all that shit down.
The sovereign citizen movement.
Yeah, because you know how they do. The motherfuckers ain't never honored a treaty ever.
Yeah.
So okay, you using that shit? You know about that. Okay, let's go study this shit so we can slap you in the mouth. Because we not going to honor none of that shit. Veronica Conway, get in here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Dr. Wade Nobles, I talked about this in the Black Paper, Dr. Wade Nobles says that power is the ability to define reality and to have other people respond to your definition as if it was their own.
Oh, shit!
Damn!
Say that, monkey grease, one more time.
So power is the ability to define reality and to have other people respond to your definition as if it was their own. So my question is, what is the new black power?
What is the new black power?
Yes. What is the new black power? In other words, what language do we need to speak to reclaim our sovereignty in our lives?
Well, can I say something?
Legal.
Legal? Okay, Kev says legal, and I'm with you 100% legal. But I would say, before niggas even get to that high level of understanding, I would say niggas need to learn to speak the language of cooperation.
Absolutely.
Because we don't speak the language of cooperation, we speak the language of crab nation. Am I bullshitting?
No.
We've mastered the crab language.
But that's always been, though. Like there's an ancient culture called the Thracians, and they've discovered some artifacts from the Thracians. And one of the artifacts is this gold plate, and around the gold plate in several circles, it has these little black African faces. And so there are about maybe 100 different faces on there, but black, big lips, big fat noses, and afros, and all this and that. And so, as they were describing the Thracians, they were saying that back then, the Thracians were actually the biggest society back then, the biggest civilization, but they were separated. And so as they got more and more into it, you started to see that Thracians were really black. They were like, well, Thracians really, they like to party all the time. They like gold. They like to dress up. They like to do all this stuff, but they could never come together. And so you go back to that time, it's always been. The Moors, the reason they lost power is because they weren't together.
Wow, they broke apart. Listen, when we come back, Daryl Mooney is going to tell us about Nigretia. It's going down. Listen, I'm not playing with y'all. We only got 25 days. The So What Morning Show and Relationship Dismount Book Tour. I need your help. I need your donations. Listen, a lot of businesses donated over the weekend. I'm going to be shouting out some businesses that supported us. We need your help. I'll holler in a minute. Deuces.
Which means the sacred serpent. It's a beautiful word. It's a wonderful word. Somewhere around 200, there's the Punic Wars. The Romans come in and they meet these African people. Hannibal and others, they meet these African people. They have conversations with them. Who are you? Inga, negus, negusti. Pretty soon, Romans take this word and they put it in their vocabulary. This word, Ungar, becomes negro, nigra. Okay? It is handed down from the Romans into the Western civilization. The Romance language gets it. Romania, Italy, Spain, Portugal, France. They all have this form of word negro, nigra, nugra. The Spaniards, as we know historically, are the first to come to this part of the world, and they also bring Africans with them. They're basically really hot on the Hispanics, but remember the Moors are already in Europe, and they start bringing Africans over, along with the fact one of the boats of Cristobal Colon happened to be run by two brothers, the Pinzon brothers, who were Africans. But no one ever tells you that when you get to Santa Maria, the Nina, and the Pinta. Nobody tells you that one of those ships was run by black people. They don't tell you that. They don't even tell you that black folk were the ones that taught Christopher Columbus how to get on the water in the first place. That's a whole other story. Take my intro to Africa, we'll drop it. However, this word finds itself in America as it relates to black people, negros, because of the Spaniards. Estevanico. Estevanico was an African from Morocco. They went in, and he went into Arizona and New Mexico, and he was embraced by the indigenous people. And so this word that was once sacred is now being used by the British. And the derivation of the word negro, ungar, now is going to become nigra, 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 nigger, 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 nigger. This word is going to be used against the people who are going to be tortured and raped and put in pain. In Puerto Rico, República Dominicana, Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, St. Lucia, Haiti, wherever you go, wherever Africans are, this word is going to find itself. And the people who are going to be exposed to this pain are only going to know that every time I feel pain, I'm called this word, nigger. And pretty soon a sacred word, like the sacred symbol, is going to become a dirty word, because dirty people, white supremacists, did dirty things with this word. And so now, here we are, 2013, sitting in this
room. If you stay in the context of the poisoning, you won't know the spiritual significance of the word. The word is just like the swastika. If you go back and do the research of the swastika, it's a spiritual symbol in India and to the Buddhist. But because of a certain time and a certain person, Hitler Now it's a universal symbol of evil. But words, just like symbols, words have a denotation and a connotation. The denotation is what the shit actually meant when it was originally brought into being. And the connotation is society's use of it now. So, when we was young, we said, that girl fine as hell. Now is, shit, she fleek, I guess. They got like new little terms and shit, right? But
it's not a word for a grown-ass man.
No. But my point is, you know, back in the day, dope meant that shit is fly.
That girl's dope.
Right? But if you go back before hip-hop, dope might not be good because of the heroin epidemic.
Boy out there selling that dope.
That decimated communities. And then after that, crack. Now niggas say that shit was crack. Like, that shit was fly. That shit was dope. But when you was raised by a crack mama, that shit wasn't cute. So denotation, connotation, right? Bobby?
Well, that's why it's important to have at least one common language. I don't mind young people, you know, morphing into whatever it is that they feel is fashionable today, but they also should be bilingual. You should be able to speak one common language, then, you know, drift into your own groove, and that way we can at least have a civilized conversation.
Good shit. Let's bring in Daryl Mooney. Brother Daryl! Oh, Mooney! Thank you.
What a conversation. How are the brothers, and if there are any ladies in the house, how is everyone doing? One of the baddest shows happening on the planet right now, the Roe Williams Show.
Thank you,
how
man.
How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Thank you, man. And I'm glad you reached out to me, brother. We follow each other on Facebook. We talk every now and again, but I'm so pleased and humbled to have you on the show to share your knowledge. You were telling me about Nigretia. Can you go into depth and let the millions of folks that are listening get a piece of that info?
Yeah, everybody, all you have to do is get up on the computer and Google Nigretia. It's a continent. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest names of what we know of as Africa today, which was named by Europeans. So
how do you spell that?
Nigretia is powerful, and you have to look at it. You can go to the library. I was in the library 3 weeks ago when it saw a map. It was a 1970s map, and it had Nigretia, the name of the continent of what we know of as Africa. So now, okay, that's proven. Now, here we go. The word nigger, so breakdown. So when the Europeans, they knew we were Nigretians or Nigretians. So the white folks in America, the ignorant folks, they were the ones that could not pronounce the whole word. So the nigger, you hear what I'm saying?
Right.
So it made it a negative, but the root word nigger means source or black. And that whole continent was named Nigretia because this was the land of the black people, or the land of the source people. Okay, and then there's other information now, and we know some of it is true with Negus out of Ethiopia, meaning king of kings or king. The nigger or negas, the vowels change, but the consonants stay the same. Okay, nagas, niggas, nugas, it's all the same thing. So you look at that in Ethiopia, then you look at in India, the black Indians, the Dravidians, the black folks, you look at that and you see Nagas, Nagas, which means prosperity, which means love, which means serpent, which means goddess, which means God. Well, the serpent is a positive thing. And even in the Bible it says, what? Be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. So there's a positive aspect to serpents too. So you've got Negas, you've got Nagas, you've got Inger, you've got the Netzer, the Medu Netzer, out of Kemet, or what we know as Egypt, the holy book, Netzer, the NTR changes to the T can be a G or a K, necker or netter or nigger. So the metu necker is the metu nigger. Okay, so when we finally embrace the word as the powerful one, and then check this out here.
Go ahead.
Wallace Burroughs, the white boy, European, excuse me, I don't want to disrespect him. I get that from being around Dick Gregory all the time, and them white boys. Well, that gentleman, European gentleman, now you check him out. Wallace Burroughs, who was an Egyptologist, a chematologist, European, he goes in the pyramid, brother. He sees Negur, Neggur. Okay? Now dig this. That's Negur. So dig this. That breaks down in hieroglyphic terms, and he broke it down. The goose goddess that laid the golden egg.
Wow.
I'm the only nigga on the planet who broke this down. And tell me if this resonates with you, brother.
Wow. I'm listening, brother.
Those guys that laid the golden age, you know, we taught in metaphors and symbols. That's what Aboriginal people do. Metaphors and symbols. The goose goddess, so you get rid of the goose, you got the goddess. You see the laid, the golden egg, get rid of the golden and laid, you got the goose that gave birth to, right? That's laid the egg. So that gave birth to. So the goddess that gave birth to the egg, the golden is the light. So hear this, brother. It's the feminine principle gives birth to the light. So you can't get to the creator unless you go through the feminine.
Wow.
That's the nigger. So nigger is all a derivative of that, especially when you look at Nigretia. It's just the source, man. It's source energy. All right? I don't even use the word a lot all the time. You know, my nigger, it's too sacred for folks to hear that word.
Everybody can't be a nigger. Everybody can't be king. Everybody can't be sovereign. Oh, I love it, brother. I love it. Bobby, how do they spell, for people who want to research, how do they spell the term Nigretia, Bobby?
Nigrtia.
Wow, listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, the nigger show, goddammit. We gonna claim this narrative whether you want to do it or not. We gonna take it back, bitches. We gotta take that word back too, shit. I'll be back at 2.2. Holla!
Earlier, the concept of separation came up and it kind of hit me. It's something that as black people, we all suffer from, is this desire to separate. Get some money, move to the suburbs. Jehovah's Witnesses, Baptists, Kappas or Qs, Deltas or Zetas, Bloods or Crips. Think back. Wasn't no Bloods or Crips or Zetas or Deltas or Kappas or Qs or Baptists or JWs rowing when we got here. We was all put together. We were all grouped together. Those who make the real choices, those who control the narrative right now, see you together. They don't give a damn about this shit that you're talking about. You are whatever color the Klan says you are, because they make the biggest deal about it. Stop finding ways to say no to one another and find ways to say yes. Black folks love. Have you ever looked in the face of somebody black who works customer service in any capacity at Target or even at the nightclub? Shout out to the big bouncers on the door that's just gonna be a big nigga on their mama couch the next day eating Captain Crunch. They love telling other black people no. Break that curse. That's a curse. Find a way to tell the next nigga you come in contact with, yes.
Wow. Listen, and when you start thinking in terms of trust, black folk who haven't earned the right to be called negus, niggas, mistrust other black folk more than any other people. I can only trust a nigga who's my frat. I can only trust a motherfucker who went to school with me. I can only trust a motherfucker who has a concomitant education and economic level as I do. First off, you being trained and raised by an assassin. They are assassins of culture. America is like the Borg. They're assimilators.
No, you didn't.
That's what they do. They assimilate the best of you.
Yes, they do.
And then they re-educate you to think nothing exist but their authority. What they say is correct. When I see black people, I see a people all over the world that's out of their motherfucking minds. They don't even look like they're supposed to look. They don't believe the way they're supposed to believe. Everything they do is justified by the oppressor. The best way to enslave a motherfucker is to give him a narrative to believe in. That's the best way. Veronica, then Bobby. Veronica? You got her? Veronica. Veronica? Veronica.
You hear me?
Yes, we got you now. Speak on it.
Great. I didn't hear all the last part of it, but let me just say this, because I love what the brother was saying earlier about the legal reference of words and the meaning that they create. But I helped build a company a few years back. I actually co-built this company that did just energy, much like the doctor was talking about earlier, right? And you could activate a name or a word, and you broadcast the vibration of this word. And so you could feed in the name Jesus, and it had a certain quality, and you could experience it. And you could feed in the word God, and it had a certain quality, and you would actually experience it. And so what I came to understand from having built this company and been exposed to this technology, it's not the words carry a vibration because we assign a certain meaning words. And so it's not the word itself, it's what we have all agreed the meaning of that word.
Wow.
Nigga, if you put nigga in and it has had all this negative baggage energetically, then it resists as a thought form, as a thing, as a vibration. And that's what we have to be aware of in addition to the etymology of the word. It's the vibration of the word.
Well,
no, Bobby.
I just wanted to answer to that, though, just what she did. Well, when a word is created, usually it's already created with a vibration. And so there's something called transmutation, or changing one thing into the next. So you can't really transmute a thing until you know what it is first, and then you can transmute it. So when black people are around here using these words that they don't have any idea what it means, they can't necessarily transmute that energy because they have no idea what it is in the first place that it's coming with. So they can actually be transmuting it into something negative as well.
Wow.
So you have to educate yourself on what that vibration is.
Bobby?
A key component of controlling the narrative is models of possibility. So many times when we look at who we are and how we behave, it comes down to who we see the most of. And until we control all aspects of the narrative, which includes the visual,
right,
which is really important, because when you see a real person, I was thinking the building was on fire.
Vibrate mode?
I don't know.
What kind of phone?
He ain't never been on a radio show. He been in the cave. Go ahead, Bobby.
If you've ever been around people who have a modicum of success, it tends to rub off on you. One thing I learned years ago is to try to surround yourself with people who reflect your ambition. And when you drift away from that center, you end up imitating bad behavior. So I think it's very important that we look at our circle around us and say, all right, am I getting better or worse based upon the people I spend the most time with?
That's it.
Wow.
You hang around 4 broke niggas, guess who fifth?
But see, and Bobby touches on something we touched on this last week. If, like what my brother was talking about in terms of the Black's Law Dictionary and not knowing what words mean, words are spells. you are casting a spell of enslavement. Now, transactional psychology says it's a loser script, playing over and over in your mind. I ain't shit. This is the white man's world. Follow the rules. Do what he say. Stay the fuck out of trouble. That's a loser script in transactional psychology. These are spells. The law of attraction will say, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. Right? But what you fail to realize is if a motherfucker is dreaming in black and white, you're going to get what you asked for plus its polar opposite. This is why your ass got to dream in stereo. But most people don't know how to dream in stereo because they're always trying to move away from the negative moment. Well, the negative moment has a gift for your ass because the pain you feel in the negative moment is an indicator telling you what you're lacking. But most people I just want to move away from that shit. Well, it's going to follow you until you get the lesson that the pain has to deliver.
Ain't going to leave you alone till it delivers its package.
Do you see? So now, just like he said, just like Brother Coleman said, well, what's happening is we've associated pain with the word nigger because of a small sliver in our history. We've chosen to empower and put on a pedestal a thought process that is demeaning to our spirit. Just imagine if we just said, well, fuck it, let's all agree that nigger means God again. I wonder what that vibrational shift would produce. Bobby?
It's almost a no-brainer, man, and I'm back to exposure. Anytime I've been around people that are history makers, whether it's in the physical presence or through reading or watching a documentary or whatever, you get inspired. It's like, I'm an avid tennis player. And when I saw Arthur Ashe win Wimbledon in 1975 and throw his fist up in the air, I said, man, I was built like him and I already was fascinated with ping pong and those kinds of things. And I went out and got a racket. And in a matter of weeks, I kept seeing that image of him serving and volleying and coming in and dominating at the net. And I was imitating that behavior without formal lessons. And have become quite an accomplished tennis player because I saw somebody do something that I connected to. So, again, it's very important that we find ways to connect to that which it is that we want to be about as individuals and as a people.
Wow. Hey, let me go back to my good friend, Daryl Mooney. We need some more of that hot fire. How do we liberate ourselves? How do we take back the word? I remember in the 60s with the Black Panthers, said, fuck it, we taking nigger back. And it means don't fuck with this nigger. Or this nigga gonna bust your ass. Right? Well, how do we take the word back and empower ourselves through the word? Or do we go the traditional means of, say, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and bury the word? They want us to bury this motherfucker, don't they?
Well, you know what, brother? It will never be buried. It will always come up right out of the dirt, okay? It's going to come up like a phoenix because the nigga must rise. It's an energy. It's a power. It's darkness. It's source. It's strength. Now, check this out, brother. You talked about Jesse Jackson. Well, see, I've had privilege to be around because of the pedigree, Mooney, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. I done heard them all say nigga when my father stopped saying nigga, he couldn't help it. That nigga had to return. Okay, nigga gonna come back. Richard Pryor didn't stop saying nigga, okay, in real life, in private life. So folks can't give up that word no matter what they say. I did a play, man, a Christian play, man. Me and my brother was entertained. This was years ago. We was so entertaining, and we did it for Jesse Jackson in this group. When he came down to the stage, he hugged me and Dwayne. He said, "Y'all some crazy niggas." Now, when what's his name? Diane Carroll. What's her name? Diane Carroll. Y'all remember Diane Carroll from Julia?
Yes.
Okay. She was on TV, man, on a cable show, being interviewed with my father and Harry Belafonte, talking about the word nigga. And everybody was going nigga, nigga. My father was doing his thing. That's when he wasn't saying nigga. He was talking about rigging and all that spelled backwards. And then all of a sudden, Diane Carroll said, I don't care what they call me. They can call me nigga if they want, as long as they call me a rich nigga. So why do I come to that? I say because nigga also means prosperity. I said that with the word nagger. So when we think nigga, it's all our vibe, it's all our energy and our melanin and whatever we got, our DNA, cellular, we just think it, turn it back into the word that it is. Remember, it's a sacred word. Even if you don't look at the sacred word of it, don't go to the spiritual, because the Christian thing is got you in the way. Look at the idea of Nigrisha. You can look at up the truth of it, and the word Nigri, and the Greek Nigra comes from Nigrisha. You look at the Niger River on the continent. The Niger River, they say at one time, ran throughout the whole continent.
Wow.
So the Niger River, the people of the Niger is the nigger, Niger, it's the same thing.
Let's do this.
So
Let's do this really quick, Daryl. Let's do this really quickly. I got to take a break, but I want to pose this question. Sin. The word sin. Right? You do some research on the word sin. It's going to go back to wisdom.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you something.
I didn't know that.
Let me tell you something about these white folk. Let me tell you something. This is the easiest way to keep niggas down. When black folk had sovereignty or true freedom, we were connected to the universe. We were connected to nature. Our monuments represented that. Our rule represented that. Right? So the best way, I keep telling people, the best way, we got to make all that shit evil. So when the white folk first land down, the conquistadors, when they get here from Spain, first off, they done made up a race called the Latino. You motherfuckers ain't from Rome, right? The Latinos are black on both sides of their origin. They black on the Eskimo Indian side, the Olmec, right? And they black.
Big guys, the old make, don't that sound like old Mexican?
It does. It does. But they black on both sides. They black on that Asian side that came over the Bering Strait, right? That we call a Native American. And they also black on the Spanish side from Spain. Because the Spain was fucked by the Moor for 800 years.
Anytime you want to brag on being well hung or having a big ass, how you going to do that without coming back here?
Listen, we're taking a break. When we come back, the Zoe Up Morning continues. I'm going to kick your ass about this word, nigga. We'll be back in a minute.
Asian words that have the NG root. We have Naga Raj, means king of cobras. Naga Arjuna is a Buddha saint. Nag Ina, gem of ring, diamond, great. Nag Indra, Lord Shiva. Nag Esh, Lord Shiva, Lord of snakes. Nag Eshwar, Erawat, Shashnag. Nag Eshrawan, Lord Snake. Nagmani, Lord Krishna, snake's gem. Nagpal, protector of snakes. Nagpati, master of snakes. Nagraj, Nag Ulan means witty. Niger and Nigeria are two countries in Africa. The word Niger means in Igbo, king, emperor, and Nigeria means queen, empress. Neger, N-E-G-G-E-R, means golden one in ancient Kemet. Neger is another form of the god Geb, also referred to as Seb and Keb. It is also a term for the king initiate, which keeps its connection to Naga, the serpent king, queen, literally translated Arnold Schwarzenegger, German, Schwarz equals black or black negger. Nigeria is a feminine derivative of the ancient Kemite word Inga, Naga, which means serpent, queen. It is the title of an Egyptian queen. This title was given to those who have mastered the Uraeus power. When you see an Egyptian headdress which has a snake on the top of it, you are looking at a Uraeus crown, seen in most hieroglyphics as an upright form of a spitting cobra, used as a symbol of sovereignty, royalty, deity, and divine authority in ancient Kemet. Uraeus is obvious reference to the Kundalini energy. Ngozi means blessing in Igbo, Nigeria. Nagasaki, a Japanese city destroyed by an atomic bomb in 1945 by the U.S., and it means serpent spirit or serpent life force, Nagasaki. Ninj-jina is the Mesopotamian word for justice. Nig-sisa is the Mesopotamian word for righteousness.
Uru Nagina Sisa.
In Babylon means the city which loves truth. Angola is Manding Congo equals king, lord. Angola. Nega Negast, an Ethiopian word which means serpent king of kings. Negus means king. The Kebra Nagast is often referred to as the Rastafarian Bible. It was handed down from generation to generation orally in Rastafarian and West Indian culture. It contains a mix of the history and traditions of the Ethiopian Orthodox faith. It documents the descent of the Ethiopian royal lineage from King David to Emperor Haile Selassie. Nag Hammadi is an ancient Aramaic and Hebrew scripture which means the serpent black guide. Origin of the Gospels, and you can study them today if you research anything on Gnosticism. Well, you can study them if you're using the word nigger. If you don't use the word nigger, you can't study any of this stuff because you don't follow that niggers are really kings.
This is niggerines or Nigerians. Niggers is Niger.
I mean, we've been having this conversation back and forth for
listen, man.
Wow.
This shit is heartbreaking because when I see a man who's been turned into a social fembot,
oh yeah,
right?
Socially acceptable afro, no mustache.
Right. When I see a black man who is fully integrated into a sick society that is designed to keep him sublimated and subjugated and under his foot, under his yoke.
Hi, my name is Clark.
Like this is how I interface with people. I listen to your beliefs. I listen to the program that's running on your computer. Now, you got a motherfucking Star Trek Enterprise computer in your brain.
You run
but the
Windows
software,
98.
yeah, but the software that's running, can I say my shit without your help?
Okay.
This motherfucker here, goddamn.
I got you, brother.
But he's right. You got a supercomputer with outdated software.
That man Robin, nigga, Robin over here. What that button, nigga? What that do? What that do?
So it's important that we come in, and people say, why you keep going back to the past? You know, people on Twitter, why you got to go back to the past? We need a code of ethics. Well, the code of ethics has to start with our most successful time. Can we start there?
It's on the wall.
That don't mean we can't update it, right?
Right.
Kevin, speak on it.
Well, if we're going back to that, then in our most successful time was probably our most shamed time. See, when this brother was saying, why do we need to know the past? Black people need to understand why you're in the situation you're in today.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Here we go.
Shit.
You know, and there's a such thing as karma, you know.
What did we do?
Basically cause and effect. So white people's, you know, they're what they call their deep-rooted want for supremacy is not that. It's more fear. Because when we ruled as Moors, we were smacking the shit out of them.
So speak to the different types of Moor, the Dragon Moor and the Phoenix Moor. Yes.
I was getting to that, so.
Yes, indeed. Let's go. Get out of his shit.
Thank you. But no, so back in the day, you have these two mythical creatures. You have a dragon and a phoenix. And these mythical creatures, most people are like, where the hell did these things come from? This is the white people, so-called white people's way of representing the Moors from ancient times. You had a dragon Moor who represented, for lack of a better term, the gangster today. And then you had the Phoenix Moor. These were enlightened. These were the enlightened Moors who understood that we were all a part of one family, a human family, and always tried to help. And how they got power was that, first of all, the dragon Moor.
Speak on me, nigga. Speak on my shit, nigga.
So
I started all this bullshit.
So the Dragon Moor was a hardcore dude. Like the word blackmail comes from being able to pay tribute to the Moors back in the day. And so if you look up the word Moor in the Black's Law Dictionary, it'll say someone from the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man is in Ireland. And so I was watching a documentary not too long ago. It was an Irish documentary, and they were talking about when the Moors used to come over there and they had to pay tribute. And one of the stories, this guy said, in ancient times when the Moors came, they used to roll up, take the women, take the children as tribute. And so what they would do is try to, when the Moors pulled up in the ships, they would tell their children to go run and hide. They had all these different hiding places. So one guy, he told his son, they had a little mound that looked like just regular grass, looked like a field. And he told him to go hide in there until he told him to come out. So the kid goes and hides in there, and he's in there all day, like they're in there 10 hours. And he comes out, and the Moor's sitting right there waiting on him, like, come on, let's go. And so
you thought I would be gone.
Yeah, you thought I would be gone. That's the type of things we used to do to the people. We used to really seriously terrify these people. We roll up anywhere, and wherever we rolled, because we were running the world, you had to pay tribute, no matter where it was.
And tell them, this is where the myth comes from of giving the virgin to the dragon.
Yes.
Because the dragon was the symbol of a type of Moor.
There's a movie that actually shows that. It's called Dragon Slayer, and it came out in 1981. And in this movie, there's this king, and he has a lottery every year where he puts all the virgins in the kingdom into a lottery, and he gets picked out. One gets picked out, and she gets sacrificed to the dragon. And you're trying to figure out why in the hell would a dragon, an actual creature, want a virgin? This goes back to that. And so in there's a sorcerer that they try to get to help them to thwart the dragon. The sorcerer, the place where he lives is called Dragon Moor. Right off the bat, it's called Dragon Moor.
Yeah.
And they put it out there for you. You just got to get it.
This movie is the illest movie. If you want to learn about that, the dragons and the movie.
Let's go even deeper into the dragon. Where does Dracula come from? Speak on that sacred order.
Well, Dracula, Dracul, that was the son of someone in the Dracul comes from the Dragon Order. There was an order called the Dragon Order, and you
can still find that order online right now. It still exists, right?
Yes. Yeah. And they were basically put together to thwart the Moors, the dragons,
to fight against the Moors.
Right. And if you go, there's a movie that recently came out, a Dracula movie, like last year, like 2014. And in there, they show Dracula as when he comes back from war, or whatever, and they call him the great. He basically beat all in war. He beat all these they called them Ottomans, but they were actually the Moors. So when he comes back,
or the Turks, Turks. They like to obfuscate the Black history.
Exactly.
Say more, brother.
So when he goes back to his kingdom, he's all good and everything. And then one of the Turks or the Ottomans, the Moors, comes there. And he says, look, it's time for you to pay tribute. And he's like, wait a minute, I thought, we were good. Basically what they had did with him, they took him up and put him in their army. So he learned how to kill from them. And actually then he came back and and came back to his kingdom. So when the Moor came, he said, look, it's time for you to pay tribute. He was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you need to give up 1,000 children. And so he was like, wait a minute, including his own son. And so from that, Dracula didn't want to give up his own son. So this is where his war and hate for the Moors came about.
So what were they doing with these kids?
Putting them into their armies and raising them as what they called back then
Mamluks.
And Mamluks
and Seljuks and them niggas. Yeah.
And these were white. these were white people that we would so-called white people that we would gather, put in our armies, and make them fight for us. Now they couldn't attain the highest level in the ranks, but they could attain a certain high level, and this is where all the mingling started to come about.
And then it's so much science. I'm so fucking excited right now because when you look at the white folk in Europe that call themselves royal, what is their symbol of sovereignty today, niggas? It's the dragon.
Right on
that dragon is on their crest. Why? Because they inherited our symbol because they defeated us.
What?
The karma, niggas don't even know about white slavery.
And what's the dopest martial arts movie ever? Enter the Dragon.
Get your ass out of here. We'll be back. So what show is crazy right now.
That's right.
Bring it in.
Still profit today.
Yo, the So What Morning Show, TradioV. Radio and TV. Listen. When you scared, you tend to be prepared. Right? Preppers are scared. So they get prepared. White folk scared.
So they got prepared.
So they stay prepared. Them motherfuckers ain't worried about getting ready. Them motherfuckers been ready.
They worried about you. They dragging more.
They worried
back.
about. Yeah, they worried about. Kevin watches the show from the side.
I see the dragon in
So I have to twist Kevin's arm to come on. He was supposed to come on. Fuck that nigga. You ain't gonna get me on camera. I don't want these motherfuckers to see me, nigga. I'm just gonna stay back. He like the Wizard of Oz with all the shit, the toys and trinkets and shit. Right? I said, nah, nigga, you gonna bring your ass on the motherfucking show. You gonna drop some bombs. He said, oh, no, fuck that, nigga. Because you pissing motherfuckers off, nigga. You dragging more. Right? Yes. Sometimes you got to swing an axe at these motherfuckers to get them to act right. Kevin go, nah, nigga. You got to use that Phoenix more. Right? So when you see these black sororities patterning themselves after white fraternities, remember, all high spiritual science came from us. Kevin, who created Masonry?
That would also be the Moors.
And why did they let white folk into the craft?
To dispel our karma from smacking the shit out of them for so many years. That's basically it. That's why we are in the place we are in today, because they knew they couldn't go on, keep on doing that. I mean, the Moors had complete knowledge of sciences, the universal sciences, law, energy, and how things move, as well as what we call karma, cause and effect. And so they understood that the Dragon Moors were out there just doing all this shit, just literally
fucking bitches, pillaging villages. Go ahead.
We had to pay that back. And so instead of just waiting around for the super anvil to drop, they just started to initiate our own karma and be in control of it. See, if we're in control of it, then it doesn't hit you as hard.
So is this why Albert Pike relegated black Masons to the Blue House? Because he didn't really want the motherfuckers to really know the science that they got from the original Moors, right? You niggas gonna get a diluted version of the diluted shit the original Moors gave us.
We're gonna keep this orange juice, give y'all Sunny D.
So the black Masons are Sunny D Masons.
Yeah, they are. Well, the black Masons were Benjamin Banneker, who they call, who people know as Benjamin Banneker, who basically was the real person who created or designed Washington, D.C. He started what they call Prince Hall or Black Masonry. And he had total science, created the almanac, he understood the stars, the movement of the stars.
Designed D.C.?
Designed D.C.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, you know, they say he was L'Enfant's assistant, but he was really the one who was...
You already know.
Yeah. He was really the one breaking
anybody out there that's an assistant to a rich white man knows.
Anybody, right? We did all this shit. This nigga taking the credit.
Ever assisted anybody rich and white? You know what that means.
And so they know what would happen if we got that science back, but we don't have the morality yet to have that science again. Like we're not there.
Oh shit, Bobby, then Veronica, and I'm coming to Daryl. Bobby?
You know, you mentioned morality, and I think our curiosity has to be heightened to the point where we begin to speak a common language with a common objective. Morality has to coincide with true motivation. You got to have a reason why to do these things, and it's got to be so clear that it starts burning from within you, and it becomes a gravitational force. You know, if you get the why for living, you'll figure out the how. And I think that's where we really have to start directing the conversation is, how do we infuse and embed in our people the why?
Can I get rid of that?
Yes, and then I'm going to Veronica.
Okay.
Go.
The why is the reason you want to get back your actual status is because taking you away from who you really are is how they get control of the land. They don't own the land. They're only in control of the land. The Constitution is just a trust document that we've been when we said that we're the Phoenix Moors, we've been placed everything that we had in trust. They don't own it. It's just in trust until we come back into our right mind and right status to be able to take that back. But you damn sure not going to get it by calling yourself black. You'll never get that. They want you to call yourself black all day.
Right.
All day long.
Right.
You come in there, you call yourself a Moor, it's a whole different game. We've seen it in court. We've seen people walk into court, call themselves a Moor, but there's a different thing. There's Moorish science temple PCAS out there doing all. It's not the same thing. You have to actually understand the ancient history of it.
But see, this is where you and I have always had this conversation. I agree with you, But one stipulation: to put yourself in a position to trust this evil system to keep its word. I just don't believe that shit.
But I've seen it. I've seen it.
I'm just saying, you can be tight on your shit, tight on your square, and them motherfuckers say, hold on. Everybody get the fuck out this courtroom real quick.
Tight on your square.
Anything could happen. I just don't trust these motherfuckers to keep their word.
That's happened. A friend of mine, he got arrested in Beverly Hills with no driver's license, with 8 ounces of weed on him, and they took him right to the Beverly Hills jail.
You talking about Dom?
Dom.
I remember Dom.
He had some cards on him that explained that he was a Moor and this and that. So they didn't even arraign him. They put him in a little room. They came in there and opened the door and told him his bail was $75. So he called me. I come down. We pay his bail. He goes to court and he submits these documents beforehand. He's the first person on the docket. 8 o'clock. They wait all the way to the end of court till he's the last person in court. Everybody's gone, and then they call him up. Nobody in there. There was one other Moor guy in there who was watching everything. So when they did that, the judge, he goes off the record. He says, so, Mr. Osborne, how can I help you? But Dominic didn't know anything at that time, so he was scared. And so he's like, what do you, I don't know. So then the judge goes back on the court, and he says, so, Mr. Osborne, so you're this and that and that, you got caught in this and that. He says, so, okay, so what'd you like to do here? And he was still stuck. He was like, he didn't know what, so he went off the record again. He says, Mr. Osborne, this is how I have to do it. this is how I have to help you.
Damn.
And so he says, so Dominic is still hesitant a little bit. So he says, okay, what would you like to do? So he goes back and he says, well, I want to leave here with what I came with. You leave with what you came with and let that be it. He says, okay, back on the record. And so he goes to the prosecutor. Prosecutor, so how would you like to handle this? Well, we want to send him to rehab and have him pay this and that fine, this and that. So he goes, Mr. Osborne, is that fine with you? He says, no. He says, okay, let's back off the record. Okay, Mr. Osborne, what would you like? He's going off and off the record. So then finally when they got the deal that he wanted, he goes back on the record and then he goes, okay, now we have this, Mr. Osborne, you understand that you are wrong and that you got arrested, and boom, he starts just chastising him and beating him down on the record. And so Dominic is taken back. Now he's like, what the hell? He's like, what's going on? So he says, okay, do you understand this? And Dominic goes, no. And so he goes off the record. He said, Mr. Osborne, I just told you this is how we have to do this.
Wow.
So he says, I understand what you're saying, but on the record, this is how we have to do it. Goes back on the record, kills him, chastising him, all this and that. So, Mr. Osborne, do you understand you were in the wrong and blah, 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 blah? He goes, yeah. Okay, great. Case dismissed.
Damn.
No driver's license. 8 ounces of weed.
I'm gonna okay, everybody.
But see, this is what I'm saying. I don't think everybody can do that, though.
Hippity hop, mob stop. That is the whole. Okay, you gonna have a bunch of cats out there.
That's what I was thinking.
Big niggas' hair behind them.
But listen,
I ain't trying to brain no. I gotta explain that to my cellmate. Do you know that I'm a Moor? Shut the fuck up and braid my hair straight. I don't want to be fucking around.
But see, this is why I don't trust them.
Right.
You ain't gonna find that many judges that'll do that kind of shit. I'm not saying there aren't some out there that'll help you. But I'm saying, for the most part, the judges are being re-educated when it comes to this.
I got to see this.
Yeah. Veronica and then Bobby. Veronica.
Yeah, so I want to piggyback on what he's saying, because Neshama studied a lot around sovereign movement too, but Neshama, and he's done the exact same thing that the brother's talking about in terms of going into court and winning, because he understood the terminology and the language framework that was being used against him. And he turned that shit upside down and inside out and won. They just had to get him. They had to get him out of the court so that they couldn't, so that nobody else would check what was going on. Because if they did, it'd be trouble for the court.
Wow! Wow!
I want to validate that, because I've seen that happen with other people too. If you know what you're doing, you got to know what you're doing.
Yes. Bobby.
Well, the moral of the story is nothing beats a failure but a try. And we gotta get it out of the notion that it's so fatalistic. We get this notion that white people are just that far advanced, when I always challenge that, because they made out of flesh and blood, just like we are. And so what? If we even fail the attempt gives us a foundation to keep on digging, keep on fighting. I love the song by Curtis Mayfield, I've got my strength and it just don't make sense. Not
wow. Daryl Mooney, give me your thought on it, and then we go on. He gone?
Okay, can I say?
All right, listen. Go ahead, say what you got to say, and then take us to break.
I love you, Uncle Bobby. But have you ever seen an alligator? It's just an alligator. It's flesh and blood. Now, either you can walk away with some shoes, a belt, and a hat, or you can be lunch, and it all depends upon your particular knowledge of how to deal with alligators. Now, you can't just tell me I'm going to go out here with some lollipops and now-laters and I ain't going to get ate up by this alligator. I'm going to need some books. I'm going to need to know what this cat know. I'm going to need to know what Dom knew. Give me that book. Everybody talk about that book. Now,
you going to take us to break?
When we come back, we're going to hear about how, not just when and who did, but how to do this shit in 2 minutes. The fuck out of here. Oh, yeah, I saw this guy do it. How about that guy?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know we got to do the final thought, and for me, I get frustrated, right? I get frustrated because I want our people to believe in each other, work with each other, and stop tearing each other apart, right? It seems like when we get somewhere, the first person we argue with is our own, right? And the thing that we try to protect the most is our reputation as it is perceived by the system, right? We don't work with each other because we don't trust each other. We don't trust each other because we bought into the narrative that we ain't shit. So why would I trust an ain't shit motherfucker? That has been the doctrine. As I spoke of last week when I said there has been a concerted effort to hold Haiti down, right? Concerted effort to hold Haiti down. Why? Because Haiti kicked white ass. Just slavery? Are you out your motherfucking mind? This is an island, nigga. We finna beat your ass up off this island. Okay, from now on, we gonna hold them down. Shit, the 7.2 earthquake happened many years ago now. 3, 4, 5 years ago. There's rubble still all over the place. Still poor over there. Still eating dirt cookies, right? American Negroes, no, it's called Restavik, right? I think, no, those are the children. But they still eating dirt cookies over there, right? Americans look at that like, American Negroes look at that like, oh, that's too bad, and well, we should do something, you know. Our whole definition, I keep saying, everything about our lives is a fantasy. It's a fallacy. We do not have an original narrative. I challenge you to list everything you think is successful. And I'm going to ask you where the fuck that came from. Right? And I'm going to ask you how many components of your list of success includes spiritual evolution. Not religion, spirit. We spirit people. Right? Slaves get over to Cuba. Slaves get over to Jamaica. Slaves get all over the Caribbean. And it's under duress. Fuck that. We're going to create Santeria. Keep this whip off my ass. But I still follow Yoruba, Ogun, Yemeya, right? Shango, Obatala. I still fuck with them. But just to keep him off my ass, I'm going to put it under the name of the saints. Santeria. Saint worship. Saint Jerome and Saint whoever the fuck. Just leave us alone while we do our real shit. While we speak to the drum. Right? Next thing you know, white man is recontextualizing. Right? Recontextualizing, right? Hey, that ain't Catholicism. That's your shit. Right? That's your shit hidden under our shit. You do know your shit will take you to hell. Right? They did the same to the Maya, to the Inca. Well, first off, we're going to come with Jesus, then we're going to burn all your books. You burned the history of these people? That's what they do. It's all about narrative. Narrative, narrative, narrative. If you're not the author of your narrative, you're just an actor in a play. And if they got you playing the buffoon, if they got you playing the motherfucking advocate of oppression, let's pay this nigga Al Sharpton. Keep these niggas in line. Let's pay this nigga Jesse Jackson. Keep these niggas in line. Let's pay whoever the fuck that will sell their people out to keep these niggas in line. I don't ever want these niggas to recognize that they niggas. I don't ever want them to recognize that they gods. I don't ever want them to remember that shit. If they ever remembered that shit, can you imagine what the fuck they would do to us? There's some dragon Moors up in this. I can see in Suge's eye that nigga's a dragon Moor. I don't ever want that nigga to recognize he God. And look at the fire on Farrakhan. If Farrakhan knew he was a dragon Moor, he probably does. I don't ever want nobody with that kind of power, right? Just think about some of the great. If Muhammad Ali knew he was a dragon Moor, what the fuck do you think would happen? African Americans are copers, survivalists. You motherfuckers are preppers. You prepping to stay alive, right? I ain't gonna never piss off massa. You niggas have made living with drapetomania a part of success. It's the only way to be successful is if you got drapetomania. I am in fear of getting my ass kicked by the white man. And if getting my ass kicked means losing my job, not being able to pay my motherfucking rent, not being able to do what I want to do within this system of oppression, I'm going to do that shit. A black woman today would rather be called a badass bitch than a nigga. Because she don't know what it means. Right? She'd rather, when you see a motherfucker proud, I work for the federal government. I'm better than you, nigga. Because it always manifests itself in our community. Oh, that's a Hotep nigga. This nigga will use you because he speaks in circles and he speaks of 360 degrees of knowledge. While the same white man, you go into the court system, you go to D.C. and see all of the symbols of Masonry in D.C. And you say it don't mean nothing, it's decoration. Well, your dumb ass, you have the mentality of an employee. Someone that needs a check, someone that needs to be taken care of, someone that fits into a system as a cog. You are not an end user of the system. You are a component of the system. That's how they got it set up. Look at this nigga. He's trying to levitate. What kind of nigga is he? I studied at Howard University, niggas. I'm somehow better. I went to the Black Harvard, Hampton. I'm somehow better. No. The worst thing that can happen to a black man who has freedom in his soul is a great European education. Who funded your university? Who made it possible for your university to exist? And who told you the standard is to be 10 times better to get the same job and the same pay? Yeah, you think I don't know your fucking philosophy, but I do. I do. Right? We've been relegated to being the gods of entertainment instead of the gods of the universe. Can you imagine fucking royalty in and out of your woman? And her praising and respecting you for it? You don't even know how to live like that no more. I'm saying in general, Geoff. It's hurtful. It's hurtful to be able to sit down and see on a supercomputer an old, outdated software running. And you think you know what the fuck you talking about. Sister, you can't judge us by a system of oppression. Brother, and you can't be jealous because, nigga, we lost the reins, so there ain't nothing for her to respect. Until the nuts get some fucking kundalini energy in that shit, and regardless of your circumstance, the motherfucking effulgence of your balls blinds her. Niggas don't know how to be that way no more. That's the purpose of this show. I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep telling niggas what we should be doing. I don't have all the answers. Nope. Fuck being right. It's about being in alignment with that divine power. I don't know it all. I just want to start the conversation. With that said, I'm telling y'all we're only 8% at my So What morning show and Relationship Dismount book tour. I really have to tell you, read the Indiegogo page. It's so many projects that I'm trying to do, but if I don't hit the mark, I can only maybe do one of them. So I need your donations. I need your help to support what we're trying to do here. Go to Indiegogo, So What morning show and Relationship Dismount book tour. I need your donations. And for everybody who's already donated, we got a $500 donation over the weekend. I appreciate it. I thank you dearly. Everybody, where can they find you? Started with Kev?
I have a YouTube channel that it's basically like an online video classroom where people can go and watch these videos. It's called Real Nagas, R-E-E-L, Nagas, and that's on YouTube.
Spell Nagas.
N-A-G-A-S.
There it is.
Nagas. You can go there and check me out. And
Bobby?
I am the author of my narrative. It's also called Real Men Don't Play. Come get it.
That's what we talk about. And support that water. Email Bobby where?
Bobby at realmendon'tplay.com.
Geoff Brown. Jeffrey.
April 1st, the Baggers Collective at the Ice House.
I'm there.
My man
bagging.
will be there.
April
Ripping,
1st.
snapping.
Niggas have no idea that I bag. They don't even know.
I can't wait.
You don't know.
I can't wait.
This is why Freeze Love called me like, nigga.
I've only seen you get blood on your sword once.
I'm a problem when it comes to bagging. Veronica!
Yeah, I wrote about the word black, the word nigga, and the word master at theblackpaper.com. That's a free manifesto that you can get at theblackpaper.com.
There it is. Please go to Elephant. Please go to cdbaby.com and get my God Class Volume 1 CD. Please go get Balls to the Wall by Truth on CD Baby. Support. I really need your help on the Indiegogo campaign. And is Daryl still with us? No. Y'all got to support Daryl Mooney. He's a comedian. He's part of a twin. Huh?
His website? Can I give you? I know his website.
Give the website, Veronica.
It's businessandbank.com. It's www.businessandbank.com.
Excellent. Go to Elephant right now. It's Cash Mob Monday. You're going to get a $10 discount on Weed Juice. Go to Weed Juice, Ramo Mart. Please support Cash Mob Monday. We need your help. I'm dead ass serious. We're only at 8%. We only have 24 days left on the Indiegogo campaign. I need your help. Thank you for all those who have donated. And I'll catch you next week with another heater. Deuces.